Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is RemovableSanity, and today I am reviewing South of the Circle on the Series X. It's been developed by State of Play and published by 11-Bit Studio. So what is South of the Circle? South of the Circle is best described as a short, emotional, choose-your-own-adventure narrative game that questions the consequences of life choices. This has been ported from iOS to console. The premise is you play as Peter, a Cambridge academic who crash lands in the Antarctica during the Cold War period. As he searches for help, his past unwinds before him, revealing how the pressures of his power and his own aspirations have led him into the crisis he must now somehow escape. A love story between him and his fellow academic, Clara, develops, and Peter learns the weight of all things he has promised. Like memories from childhood, some promises stay with us forever. The game boasts a multi-layered cinematic experience, with award-winning actors who voice all characters in this deeply tense and moving experience. Choices here matter, and depending on them will give you a different experience and alternative ending. First up is accessibility. With regards to accessibility, there is only a few things. It does have subtitles that can have the size of the text be changed. However, there is no text-to-speech option for the game, so those with eyesight issues will have problems. Being that this is a narrative game, conversation/action prompts are a big component. However, there is no single tap option, so those with hand mobility issues shall have some issues. Next is gameplay. The gameplay starts with a short cinematic cutscene showing Peter on an expedition being flown in a two-seater plane over the Antarctic. Weather gets bad and you are forced to make an unscheduled landing, which cripples the pilot, leaving you alone to find help. From here you are quickly introduced to the main aspect of the game, and that it's its visual prompt system based on colours/shapes. Each of these correspond to an emotion of the main character, and to use them a corresponding button press is needed. It won't take long for you to realise which each of these mean. For example, a red dot is associated with panic, confusion and concern. As you progress, multiple choices will be shown for you to choose from, and the consequences of these choices will then be placed on the top of your screen as a reminder that your actions matter. Where there are choices, if you abstain, the game will pick one at random. Unlike some choose-your-own-adventure games, saying nothing here is never an option. There is automatic saving here as well, so you can't use saves to undo a choice. Some choices are also time limited, and you'll see the small amount of time left thanks to an ever-reducing circle, letting you know that time is running out. One of the cleverest aspects of the game is that periodically you are given historical flashbacks of your life leading up to the expedition. These are cleverly woven into your time into the Antarctic, with objects, moments and scenarios that allow you to flash back to memories of your previous life. At first, these memories are the ones that keep you going, but as you start to lose your clarity and the cold takes effect, it becomes harder to recognise what is real life and what is just a dream. The main story soon evolves into a split telling of the survival in the Antarctic and around Peter's life back at Cambridge with his love interest, Clara. The timeline with Clara showcases of how Peter and Clara met, how they fall in love, and the result, all alongside the hot political climate of the 1960s Cold War, and women's battle to be seen more than just a housewife. There will also be one memory from Peter's childhood, and the dynamics of his relationship with his parents. This was superbly well written and explained easily how the parenting during the Cold War was very different than of today, regardless of how you may view it from a future perspective. The present timeline, however, is a much more bleaker situation, with areas needing to be explored to move forward as you desperately look for any chance for your help for you and your pilot in this harsh environment. It soon becomes clear that there's something going on in the Antarctica, and you're in the centre of it. This is a short game, but regardless of that, it plays beautifully and is thoroughly engaging. Even after my time playing it, I would find myself replaying choices I had made in my head. Next is graphics. The game's visuals are a simplistic design that somehow showcases off more beautiful detail than the style would like you to believe. As a person who's been lucky enough to visit the Antarctic, the game's visuals do it justice. The bleak beauty that can make your hair stand on the back of your neck shine here. You can truly feel the cold when you are searching the cabins in the ice, and this is expanded upon more when you are thrown back to the more habitable climate of England. Character models are smooth, and the landscape impacts on their movement only further helps bind that engagement when playing. Atmosphere is cranked out with the subtle palettes on display, and even with limited facial gestures or details, you can feel the characters are really distinctive. Movie-style framing and scene transitions push the visuals to a more enthralling aspect when the lines of reality and life are starting to strip away. It all sells the game's narrative well and proves that sometimes less is more. Next up, sound. For this game, the general sound quality is the true heavy hitter. The game's music emulates the scene it envelops expertly and has classic piano tones with high and low crescendos mixed into harsh wind and snowdrift tones to showcase off a bleak but beautiful movie-like quality. This is then combined with uplifting, almost serene music when back in England, pushing the senses to a heartful, warm feeling. Only a true master of how best to use music to its fullest could achieve this. Without a doubt, the voice acting here has movie quality with its actors, from Bohemian Rhapsody, Gwilym Lee, The Woman in White, Olivia Vinnell, The Crown, Richard Goulding, Game of Thrones, Anton Lesser, Chernobyl, Adrian Rawlins, and Downton Abbey's Michael Fox. They engaged me in ways I didn't think was possible, and shows that a good narrative needs superb voice actors. Just listening to them tell this story would have been fun enough.
Members of this university were recruited to spy for the Soviet Union 10 years ago. Now members of this university are demanding we lay down our weapons, the only defense we have against the very same foreign power. What happens in 10 years' time?
Hey! That's the bloody stuff! Top work! Good job!
Well, give me that.
What?
We need your saber, you fool!
Hey, that's for my leg, mate. I need that!
You need to show me engine.
My recommendation here would be a good quality headset or soundbar to really allow yourself to experience this to its most engaging. And this leads me on to the rating of the game. Now, I rate games in order of avoid, on sale, great purchase, and must own. My rating for South of the Circle is a must own. If you are into narrative stories, this is a superbly well written and directed game with a movie-like experience. There's so much here for a variety of people. Historical buffs will love the Cold War's political aspect, while activists will be enthralled by the women's right movement and how it impacts on creating the modern woman. Action seekers will enjoy the more tense and cinematic experiences set in a harsh and unforgiving land. For me, it enthralled regardless of those elements and was just a great game to experience. The game is currently priced on Xbox at £10.74 or approximately $13, and depending on your skill and patience would give you about 3+ hours worth of gameplay. With the multitude of choices available and a second ending depending on those choices, this could easily add another 3 hours of replayability. If you want a compelling, engaging action adventure with a superb love story, or just want an interactive game that you can just take in and relax over a few lunch breaks, you'll find South of the Circle is an experience you really shouldn't miss out on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I do hope you like this review, and if you do, please like, share and subscribe if you so wish. And if you would like to put some notes or even just a comment in the comment section, I do like reading them. Anyway, have a great time gaming, and I'll see you all again soon.